live, I think. Let me go check on the.
Okay.
Um, we should be live on YouTube. Oh, come on. Oops, no wonder. Okay, I gotta sign out on this one and we sign in. Hmm, I think I got it here. Oh, yes, we are live. I got the thing. I'll use the site there so it won't bleed. Um, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Okie dokie. And then we're going to go to Facebook. Post it. Whoops. Okie dokie. I posted it.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, Tom. It's good
Good
to
evening.
it's good to have you on my show. And I do apologize for my being stuffy and everything, but it happened. Um, so what we're going to talk about here? It's about aliens. Okay, you want to give everybody your experience on how you became an expert in your research and everything?
Okay. Um, well, first of all, I was, and I think you posted this already. I was an electronic technician for about 36 years, plus 6 years in the Navy, where I worked in measurement. That's the science of measurement called metrology. And after I retired, I was looking for something to do. And by the way, while I was working, while I was engaged with my company, I never had an experience, not a single one.
Hmm.
So I retired and I was looking for something to do. So I joined a paranormal team and I thought, well, this might get my foot in the door here, and eventually maybe I'll be able to switch over to UFOs and start to write about them. So I've always had an interest there. So um, about 2 years into um, going out and doing paranormal investigations, uh, our team lead announced to everyone that he's looking to expand into UFOs. If anyone is interested, then let him know. Well, my hand went up instantly. And I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. And this is what I've always wanted to do. So we talked a lot more and had some pretty interesting discussions. So in order to get my feet wet, what I did was create a series of blogs. And what I tried to do is to write in those blogs what what it would take for us as a civilization to be able to solve the problems in physics and travel to other star systems versus waiting for them to come here and let the chips fall where they may. So I started writing about every little tiny aspect that I could and um, try to address the problems in physics that we would have um, to solve each particular problem. And I ended up with approximately 36, I think it was, 36 rather long blogs from um, 2 pages to 6 pages each.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were significant. And then so I just put that to the side and I um, utilize that as something that if somebody wanted to know what I'm about and how I think, you can read those blogs. And they just sat over in the corner. So um, I was also looking at the same time for something to do that I could give speeches about. Love to give speeches, absolutely love it. And so I found the National UFO Reporting Center, which is one humongous database of UFO sightings.
Mm.
And unfortunately, inside this database, some are very good, sightings are very good, and some of them are very bad. And it's up to the reader to discern which is which. So I started to distill the actual sightings, got rid of the ones that were crap, um, kept the ones that were good, put them in other categories so that they could be either put in a database or in a graph or on a map. So when I uncovered what was going on there, I saw huge amounts of sightings in and along the East Coast that were right alongside the coastline. And I thought that was kind of unusual. So I started looking into some of those sightings and I read the long description of each of the UFO sightings that um, appeared on the National UFO Reporting Center database. And a lot of those sightings said that they were walking walking on a beach and seeing something out in the water and having these things come up overhead and then disappearing. And well, I wondered where they went and what they were doing and what was going on there. Well, saw enough of the sightings that were um, originating over the water that I knew that there had to be some reason why they were all over the water, and of course that's how I got into the underwater bases and things like that. Well, not only that, I started to look at the cities that had sightings over them, and I saw patterns where the sightings that were being seen were um, uh, they were occurring in straight lines. Um, I didn't know how to account for that. Um, I thought it would just be random sightings, one here, one there, one everywhere, just randomly across the map, and I'd never be able to tell what's what. But
Uh,
that wasn't the case. All right, go ahead. So The ones that I noted that were coming in straight lines, I saw this happening on a daily basis, day in, day out. That when you'd get a sighting in one city, you'd get somewhat the same thing in a city that was almost the same latitude. So these ships are going back and forth across the country. Now, why would they be doing that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it got my interest peaked, and I figured that what was probably happening was they were tracking what they were seeing. Now I don't know what they were seeing, but they were following what they were seeing. Um, Eventually, I came to the point that what they were tracking wasn't our water. It was not the minerals. It wasn't anything else other than something that changes on a regular basis because they kept doing this same behavior over and over and over. So um, I saw that and I put that particular thing aside and thought I could use that for something else. And I didn't know what. And I didn't know what they were looking for.
Um,
So go ahead.
let me stop you right here. I got something I don't think I've told you yet, and I think when you brought up the underwater thing, it hit me
Hmm.
because I may have an alien image from those that are underwater. They have scales on their faces,
Huh.
gills like, and they're white. So I'm not sure if they're greys or if they're a total another race or what. But he come in there, he came into my RV. He had a uniform on, kind of like. He had like broad shoulders. He had wore like kind of like a uniform, like
Sure.
you know. Um, I wanted to bring this up, um, the image, which I'm trying to figure out how I can do this. So
Maybe you can share your desktop or something and call the picture up.
hold on, wait a minute. Oh Lord, I could um, I could share it. I'm going to try and share that. Okay,
Okay. Give it a shot.
I am going to open up my desktop here, the image, and I'm going to share this with you. Okay, window, this guy right here. You see him?
No.
You don't see it? Oh
No.
wait, it's not on screen. Duh. Right here. This guy right
There we
here.
go. Hmm.
You see him?
Yeah. I can't quite tell what I'm looking at. It's
Okay, the gills are on his chin right there. You see his eyes right there, his nose. He kind of, I don't know, different type of being.
hmm. Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah, and I remember him saying something about underwater bases,
Hmm.
and that's where he came from.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense because they have to have them. They have to have maybe five, between five and possibly as many as 10 around the world.
Right. And they're in the deepest crevices in the ocean floor.
Yeah,
And
and they don't need to have that many bases because their ships can move 20, 30,000 miles per hour within our uh, atmosphere.
uh-huh,
So they're going to get from point A to point B in one heck of a hurry.
right.
Yeah, so they don't have to have a base every 50 miles. They can they could traverse 50 miles in a few seconds.
Uh-huh. So that's why I was you know,
Hmm.
got my attention when you said that.
Yeah.
Because I've had that picture for a couple of years now.
Hmm.
And I was in the bathroom doing my thing, and I saw him come through the door, and I'm like, can you guys just wait and let me finish before you come and get me or whatever you're doing? You
Oh
know?
boy, that is funny.
I'm like, come on now. He was just waiting right there. I don't remember anything after that, though. But that's why I kind of like, oh man, I know what you're talking about, you
Oh, that
know?
is that
Because,
is so funny.
yeah, you ain't lying about that. No, 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 no. They got their waters, our waters have not been explored that much. Only 4%.
Sure.
4%. If people will start looking below instead of up, you might get something here.
I think they know they're there and they don't want to look yet.
You think so? Okay? What about the moon? Is there a base on the moon?
Probably it's probably not completely hollowed out, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was one inside of the moon. I
Right.
interviewed I interviewed someone who was claimed to be abducted, and we got into it, and he started describing to me things that I couldn't believe my ears,
Uh,
actually. And he said that they took him up to the um, the control tower on on the ship as they entered the moon, and he said as they approached the moon, a ground opened up and they went down inside, and the ground closed back behind them. And I, that was early on uh, in my work in UFOs. I wasn't sure if I tended to believe him or not,
right.
but he was pretty pretty convincing. It's like he really did see it. So, and there's been a lot of people say something along those lines that they had been inside the moon. Uh, Actually, most people are saying they've been to the moon, but they didn't realize they were going inside of it.
Okay.
But
Yeah. This also brings me back to the day where we supposedly landed on the moon,
uh-huh.
and how come we haven't gone back and continue to go back, and how come it hasn't been announced? So I'm thinking maybe the aliens have a saying in that.
Yep. Yeah. If the aliens spoke German, they'd have put up a big sign that said "verboten," forbidden,
Exactly.
cannot go here. So
Right. Yeah. So that I'm kind of like iffy on the landing moon thing because there's a lot of theories going around. People saying it never happened. You
I
know.
think it did. I'm pretty sure that it did. um, and they just waved us off. Although there may have been some other other trips to the moon
Uh,
where they didn't publicize.
yeah, because of the alien.
Sure, exactly.
I could understand the secrecies behind that.
Yep,
They didn't want us to know because back in those times, people would panic.
yep,
People were
yep.
not ready yet.
Mm. Yeah, and they're still using that same lame excuse. You know, the population would panic if we announced aliens. Uh,
Right.
Not any longer. That's so 1960s.
We are ready for a disclosure.
Yep.
And I know, you know, I had to convince my husband. Actually, I got a story with that one. That was pretty funny.
Okay.
He didn't believe about aliens. He's a Native American, okay? He's
You think
Cherokee.
he would?
Yeah, he's Cherokee, okay? I go, you think we're the only intelligent beings out here in this whole entire universe? I said, think about it. You got all these galaxies out there. You think we're the only ones here? You know, he had to think about that one for a moment. I said, okay, okay. I got something for you. I come back out here. I says, hey guys, if you're listening, we'll come down here and get him and wake him up for me. Next day, he comes to me asking me what the hell that mark on his arm was. I started laughing. And he goes, what is so funny? I said, you won't believe me if I told you.
Yep.
I said, I told the aliens to come down here and wake you up. And they actually listened. He was like, he gave me that look.
Oh my, that's funny.
They left a V shaped mark on his arm, identical to the one on my shoulder. Okay, but his faded,
Mhm.
mine is still there. Okay, I showed you that mark.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow, that is funny.
yeah, it is. It is pretty much. He believes me now.
Yep.
He believes me. It's the same thing with him, the spirits. He didn't believe in spirits either. Okay, and I'm like, you are a Native American. Natives believe in spirit. That's their way of life, you know?
Hmm.
You are not connected. I am more connected than he is, and I'm part native, you know? And we were sitting here at the kitchen table one day, 90 degrees outside. I noticed something odd about the window next to my husband. It started to freeze over. This is 90 degrees in July. Windows don't freeze over, okay? I looked around at the other windows. I said, something paranormal's happening right now, right this very moment. And I told my husband to look at the window, then look at the other window. This is a paranormal moment. And as soon as that window froze over, my mother's face showed up in that window. And she basically said, son, you better believe there's an afterlife. You know,
Oh,
she woke him up. He believes now.
wow.
Yeah, he's the type he has to see it to believe it.
Hmm. Well, that's fine, but you know, pretty soon, when they start announcing, they're going to see a whole lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. The
Yep.
Christian community especially are going to be saying the end of time, all this crap. I'm like,
No.
no.
Nope.
Now, let's get into that subject. Aliens are different species, a different race. They look way different than we do. They're not human, okay? Some of them could be. The Nordics, yes,
Yeah.
okay, they're human. The Atlantis, yeah, some of them are human, but some of them are not human, okay? But the Greys, just because they got big black eyes, you think they're demons. No. The reptilians, just because they got lizard looking eyes, you think they're demons or demonic? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they got good and they got bad. You got good and bad in everything,
Hmm.
including demons. There's good demons and there's bad demons. Not all demons are bad. It's just like with angels. You got your good angels and you got your bad angels. The bad angels are the fallen angels,
Hmm.
you know?
Yep.
And the Christianity is manipulating people,
Yeah.
brainwashing them into thinking other things, which ain't true. How many times has the Bible been rewritten?
Mm.
And okay, answer me this. Years ago, way before we even came along, the first Bible, the very first Bible, I guarantee you was written by aliens. What do you think?
Well, they probably didn't need to have a Bible at that point because way back there was no established language that
Hmm.
people could pick up whatever and read. Um, but I don't. I am not at all surprised if everything that happened to be in the Bible right now and in the Old Testament and in the Vedic scripts and the Quran, I would I wouldn't be surprised if it was influenced by aliens.
Right, right.
Yep.
Um, like for example, I could debunk this one easily. Moses parting the waves.
Hmm.
I don't think he did it on himself, on his own. Okay, he made everybody assume he did. But you know what really could have happened? There could have been a major earthquake. The plates could have separated and water falling through. You have so many minutes to get across. If you don't make it within that time, the plates close back up, water comes back in. There you go.
Hmm.
Make sense?
It really could be, and I guess about the same thing goes for a whole lot of the miracles that were ascribed to Jesus or his followers. Um, I believe Jesus was uh,
A
a very
hybrid.
holy person, and that his job on the earth was not to show everybody he's God, but to show everybody how to live like God.
Right. I believe that Jesus was a hybrid because I can't quite accept the fact that Mary got pregnant by an angel. Maybe by an alien, which could have gave Jesus powers,
Hmm,
psychic abilities,
sure.
healing abilities. You know, we don't know.
Right.
We do not know the truth, the facts, only what is written, you know.
That's true.
But these are just theories that are going on by, many people, different people. You know, what if it was an alien, she got abducted and got pregnant that way? Makes sense back then too, right?
Yep. It
I mean,
everything's on everything is on the table.
right. I
It's
mean,
all there.
it's all happening today. People,
Yep.
women getting abducted and they end up being pregnant. Never had a man touch them before, you know.
Yep.
And it's like you even get some women that are in their 60s that are pregnant. What the hell? You hear about that one?
No, I have not heard about that one.
I heard about that one. One lady that was like 60 years old who had a child, and I'm like, she must have been impregnated by an alien or something, you know. But I have to look it up. That was like a long time ago. But this I can understand. And we're at that age, at that cycle now where disclosure is, it could be happening any moment,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. Yeah. Did you read uh what was the name of it? UFO of God.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Um, during the writing of that book, um, um, the author talked about um, uh, um, something that will happen in and around Easter time of this year. That there will be a special event that would be unmistakable.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and that is supposed to occur somewhere down in, I think, North Carolina. But anyhow, the book is called UFO of God, and it is worth a read. It really is. It's very interesting, and it's uh, the author gets a little spiritual at times, which I think you almost have to be now, because when we meet extraterrestrials, I think they will be immensely spiritual,
Mhm.
not religious, spiritual, and it will be very interesting for us who are tied to religions, how we're going to accept what their beliefs are.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very challenging.
And
Uh,
it's gonna open a lot of people's eyes.
yep.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, it'll be a havoc. It really is. And I got a friend of mine who is really, really religious. Okay, and I keep telling her, if something's gonna happen, you ain't gonna like it.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you this: it's not the devil.
Hmm.
Okay, I said you're just going to get an eye opener. That's all I'm saying. You know, I don't want to, go into great detail with her. I known her since I was a kid. You know, but I'm kind of like gradually throwing her hints and stuff and telling her that I have a gift. I see things. And one thing I have noticed every time I get taken, my gift advance, I start seeing more things. Sometimes it's like I feel like I'm being downloaded because I wake up with more knowledge in my brain that I never had before. I'm like, all of a sudden I know about Bigfoot. I never knew about Bigfoot before,
Hmm.
you know?
Yep. That effect I have felt myself. Um, and the reason that I had felt it is that at night it feels like I'm astral traveling, and I end up sitting in a lecture hall being talked to, something like a download would be. And
Right.
it just feels like the morning when I get up, I feel like I haven't really been that much to sleep, and I know all kinds of stuff that I never knew before.
I know. It's just like there's days where I wake up and I'm like so tired. Like,
Yep.
what the hell have I been doing? You know, I was like, I showed you that video where I astral projected. It's like
Mm.
maybe I'm doing that and meeting aliens someplace and getting downloaded for something, you know?
Yep, absolutely. That's what they like to do apparently, and anyone who feels that at night feels that that strong feeling that they're getting talked to, and they wake up thinking of something they never ever would have thought of before.
Yeah,
Um, uh, that's what's happening behind the scenes. You're getting
right,
talked to.
right. I've had three very vivid dreams. I don't think I've told you these dreams yet. My first one, two hybrid grays come in, males. One was kind of like a tall white one. The other one was a little shorter, but he was darker skinned and he actually had hair on his head. The other one didn't. They come to me asking me for a joint contract. Why would I want a joint contract? And I kind of like, I don't know. And that's when I woke up. When I had these vivid dreams, I fall asleep really quick. Okay.
Hmm.
The second one, I woke up in a diner in the middle of nowhere. Okay. It's tall blonde. She's about 6 foot something. Short blonde hair. She wore like a tan coat, long coat type like. She had this little device in her eye. It was about this round and about that thick, you know, and it had red, green, blue light on it. And when she would look at me, it would change different colors. And she came over to my table and sat down like she owned the place, looked at me, scanning me over again. She's looking for something. I don't know what she was looking for. Okay. And she goes, I hear you've been talking about us. It's the term she used.
Hmm.
I, not me, not you, us. Who else uses the term us? We are legion. We are many.
Yep.
Demon, devil. Okay. Those are another group that uses that term. Okay. And I looked at her and I said, and she scanned me over again. She found what she was looking for. She got up in a haste and went for the door. She turned around, looked at me, and said, be careful what you say about us. It was like she was giving me a warning.
That's very strange.
Yeah. And then she was gone, and I woke up. My third dream. This one's gonna bug you. I woke up in a ship up there. A tall gray next to me. She had gray skin. It was a female. I could tell by her features. Um, she didn't say much. She was taking me to this room. I came to the room. There was like no windows, by the way. And the ship was just all dark gray, black hallway, long hallways. And she took me to this room. I never seen so many damn children in my entire life in one place.
Hmm.
There was all kinds of children there, different colors, races, tall, short. And there was this guy. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl or what. I couldn't tell. He was sitting like in a throne like thing in the room, like he was the overseer of everything, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like. And he just kind of looks at me and grins, and that's when I woke up. I don't know.
Did you recognize any of the children?
No,
No.
nope, nope. I sure do not.
Hmm.
None of them came up to me asked me if I was their mommy, but I'm pretty sure I have some children up there. I don't know why they were showing me around. I don't understand.
Yeah. That almost. I've heard so many stories of women who thought that they had children by extraterrestrials, and they were taken back on the ship to actually meet the children, and they were
Hmm.
introduced directly to the children, saying, "This is your child." Um, I never heard anything like you just described, where you got a chance to see just a bunch of them together. I
Right.
have never heard that.
It's just like I don't know why. I was just confused. I don't know why they did that.
Hmm.
You also mentioned that implant. You
Yeah.
said you've seen one like that before.
Yep.
So, and this right here, sometimes my K2 meter lights up when it's activated, and I can't get it right around here.
Hmm.
My fingers when it's activated right there, that starts pulsing, has a pulsing sensation to it, and it gets numb. Like right now, it's kind of like numb. So I think they're listening.
Huh. Oh, interesting. So you can actually feel that inside of your hand?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And when I have my hand out like this for too long, it actually starts to hurt. you know. So
Well,
I'm gonna let me see here. I got my little handy tool here. Just
mm,
see if anything. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Nope, not today. Uh, not today.
no.
Normally, people have implants in their ear, up their nose, like on their back of their neck. But why the hand? I don't get it.
Yeah. So, well, it's pretty much so that they can't mess with them.
Yeah, and here the thing is, that kind of has a V-shaped mark there too.
Hmm.
You know, kind of like the one on my shoulder.
Yep.
Like, um, I also got a map on my leg. It looks like the map of Lyra.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that one here, and I'll bring it up.
Hmm.
Um, I showed this to Coley. Sorry, I pronounced her name wrong. And she was pretty amazed at it. She has the same marking, almost identical. Um, let me pull this up real quick. You guys share again. The marking right there on
Oh
the
yeah,
left.
I see. Yep.
That is the map of Lyra.
Huh.
I'm going to show you the map. Okay, stop sharing with that one.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Now I'm going to pull up there. You see how it's identical? Oh, wait, I didn't put it on there. Okay, now you see?
Yeah, oh, it's similar.
Right. It's almost identical.
Yep.
Yeah. So, um, let's see if I can find that mark that was on my husband's arm here. I got it. Okay, here we go. Um, I want to bring that up. Share again. Here it is. Go on screen. There you go.
Looks a little like a butterfly.
Yeah, that appeared on his arm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was really interesting, you know.
Yeah.
So, have you ever woke up with different marks on you or anything like that?
No, I've never seen a mark, but I had an event one time that I would swear was an abduction of some sort. I don't know what they were doing or why they took me, but this was about uh, I had to have been like about 70 years old roughly, give or take. And I was laying in bed on my back, and I saw, um, I actually woke up and saw two people come through a door on the side of the bedroom. Now I didn't think too much of it, but these two people were dressed like Native Americans.
Uh
You
huh.
know, they had the Native American garb, almost like you'd see in the summer in Ohio. You know, riding out on the prairie, look just like that. And so they came up to me, one on each side of me. They had they each had something in their hand, something similar to this, and they reached out and touched me in the chest, and boom, I was levitating. And the next thing I know is I woke up in bed the next morning. Now, I'm pretty sure what I saw and felt was real. However, there were some real problems with what I saw. I was laying on my back and I saw someone come through a door on the right hand side,
Mm.
my right. And in my bedroom, the door was on the left. So I wasn't in my bedroom. And the second thing is um, um, I was sleeping while in my bed. I was sleeping on a queen size bed. And they came up to me on each side of me, right alongside of me, left and right. And that's when they touched my chest and I levitated. Well, how did the one guy get through the actual bed? Did he like meld in with the bed or something? That was that was just so weird.
Yeah.
Now, I never noticed any marks or anything on me, um, or even felt anything out of the ordinary. But that was that was an event that occurred, um, and I swear to God, I was not in my house when it happened.
Wow. I got another image I'm going to pull up here. Let's see if I can bring it. Okay. I was taken last year. All I remember was going into the kitchen, getting a drink. My camera was still rolling. 2 hours later, noticed the handprint. Well, the hands on
Yes,
my shoulder. Yes.
yes, I see them. Yep.
Noticed my eyes. I'm in a hypnotic state. I don't remember that at all.
Hmm. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. He was leading me back into my room.
Uh huh. That doesn't look like a human hand either.
No, there's only three fingers there, you know,
Hmm.
and I don't remember that at all. I really wish I could have kept the whole camera, the whole video, but I didn't think about it at the time.
Yeah.
But I was able to save that picture because because of the hands, and the time difference that I was missing was 2 hours. And yeah, that picture is a little bit disturbing, you
Yeah.
know, but that's what happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, but the thing is, I don't remember anything bad or terrifying that a lot of people experience when they get taken. You know,
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's because I don't fear them. What is there to fear? It's
Yep.
like it's like with spirits. You know, spirits can't hurt you unless you allow them to. So why are you afraid of them? You're afraid of the unknown. There's nothing to be afraid about. Bigfoot, he's harmless unless you provoke.
Hmm.
That goes with anybody. You provoke somebody, they're going to go against you. You know. Oh. And I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah. Some of the interviews that I've done, there were some people who were um, really hyper when they started to describe what was happening to them. They got you could tell that they were still feeling it. Their breath quickened, and they weren't happy telling me the story, and but um, I never heard anything from anyone that described um, serious pain or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, I had heard stories about people who were abducted, and then um, they drilled into their nose and planted something in the edge of their brain, and uh, they weren't anesthetized or anything, and they screamed bloody murder, and but um, I'm not so sure about those things. They they could just as easily have planted that memory in them.
Right.
Just like when the things came into my room and I saw two Native Americans standing there, and I'm thinking, what the heck are these guys doing here?
And you know they weren't Native American.
No,
Yeah.
no, and they probably had remembered or at least read my mind for some particular thing I had written about Native Americans in my They Are Here Volume 2, and they extracted them from that memory, and that's who came into the room. So
Right.
you know. There was nothing scary about what I heard, what I experienced, or anything else.
It's just like with that light beam, whatever. I had my camera out. You know, I had it out already. Yeah, I had a feeling there was something was going to happen.
Hmm.
Okay, and I kept seeing somebody moving outside my window, and if
Wow.
if you notice in the video, you can still see movement outside the window.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was outside or an internal reflection that you was happening behind you. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was a reflector outside. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how they came in or what, but I was really calm, but I was curious, like a cat, and wanted
Hmm.
to go explore. But I heard a little voice in my head said, "Don't do it. Stay back." That's why, if you notice in the video, I moved forward and then I moved back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when I heard that little voice say, "Move back."
Mm.
I listened. Not always, but I listened that night, because I wasn't sure. And that being came to my door. He was taller than my door.
Wow. Oh boy.
He was taller. You could see the light of the beam was kind of like curved up. He couldn't, he was like bending his head, kind of like. He was taller than that door. And I don't know why they came to me like that. I don't know who they were, what they were. They're probably different type of aliens, maybe. I don't know.
Hmm.
But it was a contact, though.
Wow. Um, I had one event happen with the people that were made out of light, and I found myself um, walking down this pathway, and uh, it was later on in the fall, and I was walking on the pathway without shoes and socks on, which is of course how I went to bed.
Mhm.
Um, and I noticed that the leaves were sticking to the underside of my feet. And every so often I'd stop and try to shake my leg a little bit so that the leaves wouldn't stick to the bottom of my feet.
Mhm.
I found that very annoying. And anyhow, I walked down the path a little way farther, rounded a corner, and there was this hmm, it was a ship. It was about 6 feet tall. The ship, the entirety of the ship, was about 6 feet tall, and outside of the ship there was a gentleman. I think it was a gentleman. That's what I assumed from the way he talked to me.
Mhm.
But there was a gentleman sitting on a log, and uh, he was made out of light, and he was so bright I couldn't look at him.
Mhm.
It was just, I couldn't look directly at him. I could only glance at him, um, and try to get an impression on what he was made out of and his height and everything else. But he
I
was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Okay, but he was sitting down, so I couldn't exactly tell. And he invited me to sit down next to him, and I did. And he said, um, "It's interesting that you're here now because we need your help for something." And I said, "What can I possibly do to help you?" And he said, "Well, um, my my friend who's on the ship is sick and he needs to borrow your energy." And I said, "Well, I don't know how to do that." He said, "Don't you worry about a thing. We'll we'll do everything. All you have to do is stand there." So I thought, well, all right, if that's what you want to do. So I walked into the ship. Now, mind you, the ship was only 6 feet tall, right? I was about 5'10". So I ducked my head to get into the doorway. And when I walked in and first stepped onto the ship, I looked out and this thing was freaking immense inside. It was huge, like I was walking into an amphitheater. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it was huge inside, even though this thing on the outside, what I was seeing was only 4 feet wide and 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So he walked me down the hallway toward where his friend was laying, and he said, "Okay, just stand here, and we will use your energy, and my friend will be healed." So I stood there and looked around and thought it was kind of interesting what I was looking at. But um, after some period of time, it wasn't long. He sat up in his bed and he said, "Okay, I'm good to go now. Um, uh, you can leave, and I thank you very much for the use of your energy." And I said, "I didn't feel a thing." And he said, "You wouldn't have." So he uh, he said, "Okay, well you can you can walk off the ship in that same direction that you went, and you can go back to where you came from." Well, I didn't know where that was, so um, and again I walked out onto the path, and the leaves started sticking to the bottom of my feet, which was annoying. And by the time I looked back, the ship was gone.
Huh.
So I woke up the next morning, and actually, it wasn't the next morning. It was what seemed like about an hour later. And the
Mhm.
first thing I did was I threw the covers off and looked at the bottom of the bed to see if there was any leaves in the bottom of the bed. Because it was that real. I swear to God, it was that real.
That
So
is what you call a vivid dream.
yeah, and I couldn't understand what the nature of that dream was and what kind of lesson I could learn from it.
Huh.
So, yeah, it took about 5 years until I woke up one morning. And again, probably as a result of someone talking to me at night. But what they were trying to do was show me how easy it was for me to heal by utilizing people's energy. That's what they would.
I
That's
got something for you with that.
yeah.
Yes. Give me one little second here and I will pull it up. Because recently I'm able to transfer energy. And you can see my hand turn completely white.
Hmm.
And the energy is coming off my hand, going towards the spirit or or an object or something. Okay. And I got that. It's on my Facebook page. I have to show everybody this. Um, because that's exactly what I was thinking about when you were telling me the story. I knew where it was leading to.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because it took me years to figure it out, and I didn't actually figure it out. Somebody told me at night what it was.
Right, right. And I knew exactly where it was leading to, you
Hmm.
know? Yeah. So, I'm going to show you this. This is going to blow you away. I'm still trying to figure out this thing here. Okay. Here we go. See my hand?
Yep.
You see the outline the arrows are pointing at?
Yes.
That is energy
Oh
coming.
wow. Okay.
That is what the energy looks like coming from you, transferring it to another person or an object or whatnot when you're healing somebody or you're offering an exchange of energy to a spirit for a favor or two or whatnot. Okay, that's what that looks like. That's how I knew what you were saying because I do the same thing right there.
Wow.
Look at the glow on my hand.
Oh yeah. I see it.
Yeah, people have actually seen my hand glow when I'm on live like that. They actually seen it.
Hmm.
So, people can do this. You just have to know how to do it. But sometimes when you can heal with your own hands, it
Hmm.
takes practice, and know how. They
Um,
were teaching you how to do that.
yep. Pretty much. That's exactly what they said to me later. They didn't say anything when it happened because um, I may not have understood
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't very far along in the process yet. So that's probably why they held that back from me and just told me like within the last 2 years.
Right. And the light beam, okay. Um, I got that too. It might be a little bit blurry, but that's expected. So, um, let me see, I got it. Share it. There we go. That is a light beam.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he would look like, except well, to me, when I was sitting right next to, and I was like right next to him, I was
He's
sitting
right
there
there.
looking at him, and he was just brilliant. I couldn't look at him.
Right. This right here, this guy was so bright. You can see his eyes. His eyes are slanted. You
Uh
could
huh.
see his the ears a little bit are kind of like pointy
Yep.
but small, and the energy. Look at that, all that energy coming off him like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you what happened to me that night. He was right there in front of me. This was during a campfire. My security camera caught this. I had no electronics on me at all at the time. Okay, um, it was like I got hit with some sort of energy field. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but
Well,
it.
when that dream happened to me, I never felt anything.
Oh,
Um, I never
yeah,
actually felt anything. So he apparently absorbed my energy um, without me realizing that I was actually transmitting it.
right. Okay,
Or, or Laura, it was a ruse to try to get me to wonder what the heck he was doing. I still to this day I don't know.
right, right, right. That covered my entire head and shoulders. That came from the guy that I just showed you before.
Uh huh.
You can also see the spirit around me. There's one right there behind me, one over there on the far right,
Yep.
and there's one in the far, there's actually two in the far left. It's like, I didn't feel no pain. Okay, I felt very warm. It was like a warm feeling.
Okay.
It wasn't a cold feeling. It wasn't an evil feeling type. No, it was a warm, inviting type feeling. And since that hit me, I was able to transfer energy.
Wow.
So I'm kind of wondering if they gifted that to me or what. I don't know. For whatever reason, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it yet. I'm still learning.
Mm.
As if I had this when I was in my teens, I'd be a whole lot different person
Oh
right
yeah. Absolutely.
now, you know.
Yep.
I'd be healing everybody left and right, but that is what they were trying to do with you. They were trying to gift you the ability to heal others.
That may be within me right now and won't be activated until I'm around them.
Right. Hopefully it
I
will
don't know.
be activated soon and they don't need to be around you.
Yeah.
But I think that is up to you to open up further, to allow it to flow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to let it go, release it, just let it go. Do your thing, do what you're supposed to be doing. So, but we've been here for almost 2 hours now,
Yeah.
and we could always do a part two.
Sure. I'm
But
absolutely on board for that whenever you want to.
uh, if you want to tell everybody where they can find you, how they can get a
Sure.
hold of you.
Um, my personal preference, I absolutely love Facebook. Um, my address on Facebook is, of course, facebook.com/. Then my name, Tom dot Conwell, just like it's on the Chiron there, streaming across. Tom dot Conwell dot 3, and that gets you right to my Facebook page. Um, throw me a friend request, and tell me where you heard me. Now, um, my books are on sale um, through Amazon at this point. They are they are here, Volume One, Volume Two, and Volume Three. That would be East Coast, Central U.S., and Western U.S. Then um, Earthquakes and UFOs, and Going Interstellar. And then the latest book is The Night Visitants. That was a story written about me and all of the weird things that have happened to me. And it's written kind of in story form. It was written by Anna Manalo. Um, she's a really lovely girl, and she uh, she wrote that story about me. We had probably 20 different interviewing sessions, and the one I'm doing now is about more or less about spirituality and um, who is God. I'm not going to try to dictate to anybody and tell them who they should think God is. It's going to be different with every person. And what I want to do is to um, get people to talk about what they think God is with others. Because what's going to happen is when they start announcing aliens, and some wise guy journalist is going to get up and ask the question, well, what is your belief in God? Well, they're going to tell us because they've been able to think about this for 10,000 years and they probably all have the same opinion. And it's going to take us by storm.
Oh yeah. I believe there is one God and he is the God of the whole entire universe.
Yep,
He
yep.
made everything, aliens included.
hmm And that's going to be a real revelation to everybody on this planet, especially because everybody is fractured in their opinions and they all think, well, I know what God is. I just look in my scriptures, you know, I just look in this book and that book, and I know exactly what God is. And one of the things that happened was I got an early morning visit, and this was the first time this particular thing happened to me. I woke up and I started seeing the world around me, and in a very clear, very distinctive voice, uh, it was, "God is bigger than you think." That's all they said. God is bigger than you think.
Oh yeah, very big.
Yeah, and what I tried to do is say, maybe that's something I should be writing about. So I started writing how God could be infinite. And I started writing this and, writing in there. And then it hit me, wait a minute, I'm just a guy from Pittsburgh. I don't have any special thoughts or anything along these lines. Who the heck would believe what I'm saying? You know, so I stopped writing. A year later, almost, and it could very well have been to the day, I heard in the morning as I woke up the same voice in my head, and it was a little louder, a little more distinct. God is bigger than you think. You should write about him. So I thought, well, all right, I guess they want me to write about him.
Yeah, they
So
do.
yeah, um, I started writing, and I am probably pretty close to that book. Um, and
I
it will
will buy
be
that copy. I will buy a copy.
okay. Thank you. It'll be published by North Star Publishing, and I'm hoping that it comes out by, well, either the summer or the late summer, somewhere in that time frame. And it's being written by myself and Susan Hill. And Susan is a psychic, and she has been receiving downloads for years from the ships that fly over. And she'll get a like a huge download, and what she'll do is um, carry a little recorder with her, and as soon as the download hits her, then she starts dictating into the thing so she doesn't forget. I have a mind like a sieve, and I forget everything. So I have to do things slow and plodding and carefully and whatever else.
Right, and it's
But
just like with when I get downloaded, especially with the Bigfoot thing, it's like all of a sudden I know all about them and where they're coming from, or
yeah,
you know, they're portal jumpers. They are interdimensional type beings. When they do show up, UFOs appear over them.
hmm,
You know,
yep, yep,
and a lot of people are like blown away about it, and some agree, some disagree. You know, and it's just really weird like that. You know.
yep. Now we don't have a title for that book yet. So when I've established a title and I have a publication date, then we can talk all about it.
Oh, great! I can't wait. Yeah, say who is God really?
Hmm. Yeah,
That's a good
uh,
title.
yeah,
That's good. That, who is
yeah,
God really? What is he? You know.
yeah. And
So
those are the questions that I pose to both myself and to Susan, and we answer the same question, and I answer it one way, she answers it differently, and the intent is not that we have the same answer and that we tell you how you should think. The point is to get you to think about what you would say if somebody asked you that question, because that's coming.
mhm. Yep, shit's gonna hit the fan and
Yep,
soon,
absolutely.
and I'm gonna have my
Absolutely.
popcorn ready.
Yeah. And they told me that in no uncertain terms. Get ready. um, it's going to be interesting.
Speaking of getting ready, I keep hearing that quite a bit lately. Get ready, get ready.
Yep.
I keep hearing that even when I do EVP sessions. Get ready. What am I supposed to be getting ready for? Hmm? You gonna
Yeah.
tell me?
Well, yeah. They didn't exactly tell me, but it was more or less get ready for our arrival.
Mhm.
And I've also gotten the impression that all of the downloads, if you want to call them that I've received by sitting in lecture halls at night, all of those discussions are going to come to roost, and then I'm going to remember everything and know what to do. So,
I got an EVP one night. I was sitting outside
mhm.
and I mentioned aliens and stuff like that. And then I heard, "We're coming" in a female voice.
Oh, interesting.
I'll have to let you listen to that, and
Yeah, I'd like to hear that one.
I yeah, I'll get to you after we're done here. And speaking of that, we're gonna hit the 2 hour mark here. I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. You
Oh, I
know,
know. I know.
we got so much stuff we could just share. If you want to do this again, I would love to have you on again.
Absolutely. Um, I printed out my experiences, and there's about, well, you can tell it's a full 8.5 by 11 sheet, and there's about 7 pages worth.
You can put
And
the link on my website if you like.
okay, well now this what I've written here is going to appear within the book as more or less this is how it started,
Hmm.
and that will appear within the book and it'll be part of the discussion. Susan will do the same thing. She's been a psychic since she was a child, a
Oh,
little
she would love me.
one.
You think?
I think so. I think so.
You should introduce us sometime. Whenever she's around or whatnot.
Okay. Well, we are going to be uh, um, putting ourselves out there for podcasts as soon as the book comes out, so we can talk about it. So
That'd be
that's
great. Yeah.
that's an option. And of course, you see my
Ah, wait, he got kicked. I don't know how that happened. We're waiting for him to come back. He just suddenly got poof. Oh, that is really, really odd. He didn't touch us, nothing, and neither did I. That was really weird.
indeed. Um, uh, that hasn't happened to me before on a podcast.
That has happened to you before?
Has not like that. It has not happened.
Oh, it
Um,
has not.
I've,
Oh,
I've, I've been messed with the audio going and the video getting scrambled, but never, boom, you're gone.
right. That was really because my hands. I wasn't even touching the keyboard, and you're getting a little fuzzy there too. And I think that the aliens are working on our show, trying to stop it.
Okay, well, could be. But we will talk again,
Okay.
and
And I will send you that EVP. It should be on my page, I think.
okay. And what I was saying there before we left is you see my postings, correct? Yeah. So as soon as this book gets published, I'm gonna pound the heck out of Facebook. So you'll see that the book's there, and then that would be a good time to contact me. I
And
think I'll be pretty
right,
busy.
right, and post it on my website too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you. I enjoyed our conversation. You're very down to earth, easy guy to chat with. I've had a great time.
Okay. I did too. I enjoy it, Laura. I can't wait for our next talk. So.
Right. Yeah, I cannot wait either.
Yep.
It'll be a part two.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah,
have a great evening.
you too. You
Yep.
have a good night as well.
Okay. Bye now.
Okay. Bye bye. Okay, guys, that's it. And thank you all for watching. I am going to turn this off and probably hit the stack myself. I'm pretty tired and my allergies are messing up. So thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good evening.